Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to Q3 FY24 Results Conference Call of Morepenlabs Limited, hosted by Kirin Advisors Private Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then zero on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Ms. Vaishnavi Ambokar from Kirin Advisors Private Limited. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. On behalf of Kirin Advisories, I welcome you all to the conference call of Morepenlabs Limited. From management side, we have Mr. Sushil Suri, Chairman and Managing Director, and Mr. Ajay Sharma, Chief Financial Officer. Now I hand over the call to Mr. Sushil Suri and Ajay sir. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is the end of the month and, of course, beginning of the new month as it is coming. So, just congratulations to everybody on a happy new year. We are meeting for the first time. And now is an opportune time that the industry is doing very good, country is doing very good, and India is doing very good. So, best time to meet these days. So, fortunately for us, this year beginning was very good. We have started the year with celebration of our 40th anniversary. So just to share with all the colleagues and shareholders today that your company has been in the business for the last 40 years. We just completed it we started the celebration on the 1st of January. So the struggle for 40 years was huge. I won't say that it was less. So this was a journey of courage, conviction, authenticity, and we kept on insisting and that, okay, we have to survive. And as a small promoter-driven private limited company, just started with 40,000 rupees, and now we have built an organization worth 2,500 crore rupees, going for $1 billion dream. So it was a very good journey. So thank you very much, all the shareholders, for being a part of the journey. And I would like to share a few pivotal moments while in this 40 years. There are 3-4 critical moments what I would like to thank all the shareholders for supporting us. The first one, of course, when we all connected with you guys was back in 1992 when we had our IPO in November 1992. So IPO was one of the first pivotal moments what we had during our early days. Before that, it was just a family company with all dependence on the banks and loans. So you made us work together, and the company got into a financial exposure. Now, with the grace of God, with all the team members taken together, we have more than 3 lakh shareholders now. So we are a big family now. So that was one big pivotal moment. And second thing, immediately after the IPO, of course, it was a small IPO at that time. The second thing which the company did big in 42 years was that earlier the company was started with one product, ampicillin. Slowly we expanded into ampicillin, amoxicillin, and other similar antibiotics. So one of the major moments what after IPO we did was that we looked for diversification and started investing on R&D, started working on new molecules. Now, and of course, slowly stopped the whole line of antibiotics. Now we are 100% exclusively a new molecule company. We do not have any routine run-of-the-mill products. We produce only high-value products. And that's one reason our productivity in the industry is very high. With nominal capacity, we have very large sales values as compared to our peer groups. So on the new molecules, we started with 1 or 2 products, loratadine, cisapride, ketorolac, omeprazole. And of course, now we have a range of over 50 products now, and we are catering to the global market, over 80 countries, and of course, with all the latest molecules. So there is a big opportunity. So that was, I would say, the second pivotal moment. The third thing, which after 4 or 5 years after the new molecules, is we launched a brand called Dr. Morepen. So that is the first time that as a pharma company, we thought of getting directly talking to the consumer, connecting to the consumer. Looking at the international trend, we could see that in the Indian scenario, most of our pharma companies are limited their reach only up to the doctors, and the consumer is not connected. And of course, the laws were not very flexible. So now with our brand called Dr. Morepen, we are present in the whole country with our OTC brands like Bernol and Lemolate, and more importantly, our medical devices. So Dr. Morepen has reached into every household. So this was a big move which we took in our journey. And of course, after this Dr. Morepen brand, a major move, for example, I talked about the medical devices. This was a big thing. Most of our Indian companies, they focus only on the therapeutic, only on the medicines, but we focus on the diagnostics also. And started with import of the medical devices, slowly started manufacturing in India. So now we are the largest manufacturer of medical devices in India, particularly glucometer and BP monitor. We are the market leaders. So this is all about the, I would say, brief journey of 40 years. We had wonderful time. And through this call, through this platform, I would like to thank everybody, all the shareholders, and gratitude and shukrana to all the people who have been part of this beautiful journey. Now coming specifically to the quarterly results. So, and before I step into the results, I would like to say that after the journey of 40 years, which was more of a, I would say, follow-up of, and I will use the word courage and conviction, but now we are moving more towards excellence and as a motto of the company. So we have rebuilt our core values around excellence. And of course, the basis of excellence is passion, which we are always filled of. And of course, the fire in the belly, we need a drive and a commitment, what we are always full of. And then the second thing is the action, which is naturally more related with execution and more to do with the speed, more to do with the results. And only passion will not do. We have to have an action. And third thing is, which is a present day need, is the innovation. So these are the three things. Without innovation, without technology, without digitization, without R&D, we can't build the future. So taking together on our field of excellence through action, passion, and innovation, we have started the new year. And here we are in front of you presenting Morepen 2.0 with first quarter results, with the third quarter results, of course, first for the new year. So quarterly results numbers have been circulated already yesterday. I'm sure most of you might have seen. So if I quickly review the numbers, this was an awesome quarter, amazing results, and the team had worked very hard on all the fronts. The net revenue has grown up by 28%, to almost 100 crores, from 350 crores to almost 450 crores. So 100 crore jump in revenue in one quarter is pretty wholesome. So it directly adds, I would say, gross margins to the bottom line. So another 30-40 crores is added. Then accordingly, the EBITDA numbers, all the addition, the gross margins is directly getting added to the EBITDA. So EBITDA has jumped from 22 crores to 55 crores. So there's a 33 crore increase in EBITDA, which is like 151% increase in EBITDA margins of the company. This is one area which the company was lacking and struggling and trying to find ways, how do we increase our EBITDA? And certainly the pressure was to increase our revenues on the gross, because most of the expenses are fixed expenses. So we have been able to crack it. EBITDA for the first time after a long gap is in the double digit. So it's around 12.15%, 12.18% EBITDA margins. So it is almost double as compared to EBITDA margin last year. Last year EBITDA was 6.22%. So now this year EBITDA is 12.18%, which is pretty good and pretty encouraging for the whole team. And I'm happy to share with the shareholders that after a nice EBITDA, certainly we do not have much interest. As you know, we are a debt-free company. So whole of the profit is almost out of 33 crores, 30 crore is going to the bottom line, profit before tax, from 14 crores to 44 crores. So there's a wholesome growth in the profit before tax. And of course, the similar numbers are visible in the profit after tax. So the after tax also from 9 crores to 32 crores, 24 crore rupees is going to the bottom line. Profit after tax has increased by 256% in the quarter. So it's almost 3.5 times, 256% increase. And I don't have to add that accordingly, the EPS for the quarter has also jumped. So EPS for the quarter is now 63 paisa. So if we try to extrapolate, so we are pretty close to 2 rupees plus EPS for the whole year if we are able to continue this streak. Even if we keep, I would say, 60 paisa as a base, so it should be a good number in the coming quarters. So last quarter, we were insisting that, okay, yes, we have been able to maintain or reclaim our 400 crore mark, but this time, from 400 to 450 crores in the revenue, that's a good jump. Interestingly, once we have a good EBITDA number and good revenue number, the PAT percentage, profit after tax, has also jumped. Profit after tax has gone up from 2.5% to almost 7.13%. So this is also phenomenal. And of course, a lot of effort have gone into it. A lot of, I would say, one-on-one item, line by line, hundreds of things have been done to achieve this, which we will come one by one as we go forward. And based on these awesome quarter, the 9 months numbers are also fabulous, and we are happy to share that with a 21% increase in revenue, there's a 79% increase in EBITDA margins, which is 79% increase in the total EBITDA by value. So there's almost 50 crore rupees addition of EBITDA. And then net profit is before taxes almost double, from 44 crores to 93 crores. EPS is 123% up because profit after tax is also 123% up, from 30 crore to 67 crores for the 9 months. Now, if you look at the EBITDA for the 9 months, this is also 9.39%. So hopefully, if we continue on the same streak, so maybe for the year as a whole, we may be able to cross 10%, but keeping fingers crossed. So far, so good. We are on an exciting journey, and the team had been working very hard. And of course, the markets were a little different and they were choppy, so but we have been able to score it well. So coming specifically to the numbers, and I shared that Q3 revenue at 449 crore is up 28%, and 9 months revenue is up 21%. So in 9 months also, we are at a growth. Domestic revenue is up 27%, and for the 9-month period, domestic revenue is up 30%. Total revenue is up 28%, and domestic revenue is up 30%. If you see in detail, the API revenue, 253 crore, is up 20% on year-on-year basis. But on the year as a whole, for the 9 months, so API revenue is up 10%. So API is adding substantially, and it's a bigger chunk. So even 10% increase in 9 months is a lot. The point of, I would say, relief is that the growth of the API is coming from exports. So 31% increase in the exports, while the domestic business has grown only 1%. So that's one reason that everything is getting added to the bottom line, because exports is more profiteering. And within exports, these are all exposed to the regulated markets, more particularly in the US market, particularly a product called taxophilidin, Elicra. So which we had got US FDA a few years ago. During COVID time, we had got approval. So supplies have started going, and in 9 months, we have done good exports to taxophilidin to US market, and that is adding to the bottom line. And as you might have seen in the result, medical device business is back on its high growth journey with 24% growth in the revenue in Q3 and 37% jump in the 9 months. That's awesome. And of course, the market had been responding very well. The demand is going up, and of course, our team had been working hard. We have increased the distribution, so we'll explain when we come to those slides. So the new element which is added to the revenue is formulation business. Earlier, our formulation business was struggling and having nominal growth, 2%, 3%, 5%, but we had a phenomenal 40% growth in this quarter. And for the 9 months, we have growth of 22% in the formulation business. So thanks to our increased capacity, our capacities have almost gone 3 times, from a 30 million per month capsule tableting capacity to 90 million we have gone. And certainly some capacities are still yet to be showing results in Q4, but it has already started showing colors. We have huge supplies starting with Jan Aushadhi and the generic business. So we are getting a traction, and maybe this will become our third growth path after the API and the medical devices. This is broadly on that point. And of course, financial numbers I shared that EBITDA margins have gone up. almost doubled from 6.22 to 12.18. And 9 months time also, EBITDA is very high. PAT margins have gone up from 2.57% to 7.13%. EPS, of course, is 63 paisa, which is 256% from 18 paisa in the last quarter. And all this is, I would say, a good start of the year. And I said that is our journey toward excellence. It has just begun. And we are full of action, and of course, the innovation. Now, coming specifically to the numbers of the top line and bottom line. So during this quarter, we have almost added 100 crores rupees in the top line, from 350 crores to 449 crores, 99 crores we have added. And there's a 28% increase on quarter-on-quarter basis as compared to the last year. And of course, this includes all the business segments, so API, medical devices, formulation, and the OTC. The point to be seen here is that during this quarter, and of course during the period of 9 months also, the API business, all businesses have gone up, except there is a small lag or correction in the Dr. Martin. In API, in the quarter, we have grown 20%, and in the 9 months' time, we have grown 10%. So this is a very positive statement that last couple of quarters there was ups and downs, but now we are seeing that 3 quarters consecutively the API is growing up. Devices has been growing up consecutively for last 3 quarters. For this quarter, devices is 24% increase in the business, and it has delivered much better. And for the 9 months, devices is 37%. Formulation business, as I shared, is 40% up in this quarter, 22% up in the 9 months. OTC and Dr. Morepen business, we are doing some cleaning. So there's a correction of 3% during the quarter also, and for the 9 months also. It's almost flat. So if we look at the overall growth, 52% of the growth is coming from API, another 25% from devices, another 23% from formulation. So there's a very balanced growth which is coming from all angles. Now, specifically coming to the API business. So the API revenues for the quarter are up 20%, as I shared with you. So as we say that the API business is growing, so there is a particular trend which we always see, but this time the trend is being bucked and the US market is increasing. If you look at the continent-wide share, the US market share has gone up by 5%, from 12.9% to 17.9% is the US market share. And of course, the Asia market share also gone up, which does not include India. The Asian market has gone up from 22% to 27%. So both US and Asian markets they have improved. India market is slightly up 2.5%. There is certainly a significant reduction in the MENA market, which is the Middle Eastern and North African markets. There is a reduction in there. But on the whole, if we see the major growth, if we look at the continent-wise and the country-wise, so the countries which have registered a growth, it is USA, Colombia, Israel, Korea, Jordan, Turkey, Syria, Macedonia, Oman, Japan. So other than US, if you see, then of course, Israel is there, but after that, it's all Asian countries, Japan, Korea, Malaysia, Turkey, Syria, Oman, Japan. So there has been growth all around, all countries. So we have been spending lots and lots of man hours and investment in terms of people and resources in cracking new markets. So during this period of last 1 year, we have added 55 new customers at a global level. We have added many more countries where we were not present earlier. We have added 2 more countries where we were not present earlier. And we have added 55 more new customers in this period. And of course, new customers are being added in India, Asia, Europe, South America, South Africa, Middle East, all countries we have been adding. And there are some customers who are giving 50 to 60% growth, but there are some customers with small numbers, so they have grown even by 200%. Even one customer has grown in Europe by almost 1,000%. 10x growth is there. But those are, we have to see the average out. So if on the API, if we talk at a macro level, the whole idea is to reach to more and more customers and to have a better reach in terms of one-on-one relation with the customers. If we talk of a particular product, saxofenadine or this Allegra is the one product which has been leading. We have 180% growth during this quarter. And of course, during 9 months also, this sufficient growth. Rosuvastatin is growing, atorvastatin is growing, Montelukast is growing. Another Rosuva by 80%, atorvastatin by 15%, Montelukast by 20%. So there has been growth all around, and certainly there is a reduction in I'd say, pressure on the market on the pricing part. So if you look at the sales value and sales volumes, so there's a lot of debate that, okay, is the market going up or is market going down? So we see that our quantity produced and in last 9 months has gone up 37%. So almost 40% increase in the production. So thanks to our increase in the capacities, so our capacities have gone up and 40% increase in the production. And rates have gone down. The sales prices have gone down. Now prices is going down, quantity is going up. It only means that there is a demand, but the demand is not at a higher price. Demand is at a slightly lower price. But thankfully, we have been updating our shareholders in the earlier presentations that the China supplies are unpredictable and there's a price pressure, margin pressure. But thankfully, this quarter, the China prices have softened. We have been able to negotiate better with our vendors in India and in China. And overall, our sales have grown up by 10% in 9 months. So in spite of the reduction in the sales prices, if there was no reduction in the sale prices, we would have gained a 40% increase in the revenues, which was last 2 quarters we suffered, but this quarter we have reclaimed. So that's, I think, the overall picture on the API. But if we go forward on the API and see that, okay, what each product has been contributing and which are the key products, as we have shared earlier multiple times that we are the market leaders for loratadine. We have 65% market share of loratadine when it comes out to exports out of India. So any single dollar, if we are $100 export out of India, $65 is going from Morepen. And of course, another product, desloratadine, both are US FDA approved. So there again, 47% share is ours. Montelukast, we have 43% share. So we are the major players in Montelukast and desloratadine. And loratadine, of course, we are the kings. And then atorvastatin, rosuvastatin, saxofenadine, we had between 8 to 18% market share here. But we are improving as we go. And these are large molecules. So we feel that, okay, we will keep on increasing. We are increasing the capacities of these shares, these products. And when we look at the new capacities, we have added capacities for atorvastatin, we have added capacities for Montelukast, we have added capacities for saxofenadine. So when we started the year, we have around 310 kiloliter capacity, but we are closing the year with almost 400 KL capacity. So we have added almost 90 kiloliters of capacity, which is showing up in our increase in the revenue. If we won't have added the capacity, we won't have been able to service the market. So going forward, we have planned to add another 100 KL by another 6 to 9 months time, by June or up to maximum up to September. So which we are doing from internal accruals. But our overall plan is to increase 250 KL capacity in the next 12 months time. And of course, as we go and close our fundraising plan, so we are depending more, I would say, we'll be creating more and more capacity and we will be more available to the customers. The market is huge. We have a good product basket. And the product basket, of course, is ready for expansion. We have developed 4 more products this time. We have developed Bilastine, Imiglim, and Tapentadol, Ticagrelor. More and more new products are coming, and you might have noticed there's a lot of action happening on the DMF side. So the company has filed 7 more DMFs in this quarter. We have filed 6 more patents in this quarter. So regulatory team is doing its best, and the customers are responding for that. And last quarter, we had FDA approval, we have PMDA approval, we have Anvisa approval. So a lot of approvals were happening. So thankfully, this was a very comfortable quarter we had. There was not much happening on the approval side. The team was busy on the business side. Of course, we had multiple audits. So we have shared with you the total intellectual property of the company. We have 147 patents with us, 26 US DMFs and China DMFs, another DMFs. So things are very bright and shining on the API side. And once we increase the capacity of the API, we see more and more people joining the bandwagon of the supply. So we see more and more tie-ups. So since company has not added any new capex in the last couple of years, I would say almost 2 decades, so no new plants have been done. So we are looking forward for more expansion in the API side. Now coming specifically to the medical devices, I think we already shared that the growth had been phenomenal. So in the glucometer side, the major growth in the medical devices coming from glucometers and BP monitors. And of course, there is 37% growth on year-over-year and 23% growth in the quarter. And if you look particularly for the meters, so we have now 11.23 million meters installed. In a way, we have 11.23 million certified customers who buy strips from us. So basically, it's like a printer cartridge model. We sell the meter and then we supply the strips. So if we have 11 million meters, it's almost 1.5 crore meters. And you can look at a population of the country. Out of 140 crores, only 1 crore people have got meters. And of course, similar numbers would be there with all other people together. So we have a long way to go. So even if we target 10 crore meters, 100 million meters in next 5 years, so all our factories would be busy. Because so many meters, we have to supply strips also. We have already sold strips for almost 1.47 billion. So it's almost more than population of the country. So we have sold the strips, but it's doing pretty well. In the BP monitor also, we are seeing a good traction. In BP monitor, in 9 months, we have a revenue of 64 crores, and the number of meters sold is already higher than the number of meters sold last year. So there's a increase in there's a little bit of price increase also in the BP monitor also and glucometers also. Both the things are doing pretty well. There's a lot happening in the medical devices in the R&D labs. So, but we'll come to you once we have some good news to share. Then coming to our third line of business, which is formulation. As I shared that during the quarter, we had 40% increase on year-to-year basis. And of course, within that, if you look at the breakup, the branded business has grown up by 7%, which is more to do with, okay, you appoint more people, more team, add new states. We have launched two more headquarters. We have launched Hyderabad and Chennai, 2 more headquarters in the branded business. But a major growth is coming from institutional business. That is Jan Aushadhi. So it is almost 3 times from 11 crore to 32 crores. So 196% increase in the formulation business. Of course, the generic business has increased 15%. And then on Dr. Morepen, where we have in 9 months' time, Bernal had been doing very good, Lemonade had been doing very good. But we are reducing our focus or our investments, I would say, on the online business because online business consumes a lot of capital upfront and we have to do a lot of upfront marketing, which we are trying to avoid because trying to have limited resources. So, but within the limited resources, we have been able to maintain our top line. That's all about the different businesses. And just to recap on the financial numbers, net revenue increased 28%, EBITDA 151%, profit before tax almost 200%, after tax 256%. And the good news to share is our EBITDA is in double digits now, 12.18% for the quarter. And PBT, of course, is 9.8. It's almost pretty close to the 2-digit number. And if you look at the 9 months number also, 21% increase in revenue, 79% increase in EBITDA, 100% increase in profit before tax, and 123% increase in profit after tax. I'd say it's a celebration time, celebration quarter. And as I said, we started the New Year journey very happily with the new slogan, new core values of excellence, and now we have an excellent quarter.